to another episode of Streets of Success with Frank Jalil. We got Rick Tufano in the building.
That's right. Yo, what's up with you, man? This will.
We have other news. Loosen up a little bit, man. Loosen up a little bit. So, Rick, multiple mutual friends. We've been in contact on social media, and I love everything you're doing. Vice versa, you said this is a positive platform, highlights success stories. As far as roofing industry goes, before I even knew you, I knew about your company. That's we'll get into that. But typically, how we start off is just like a little bit about Rick growing up. You know, as far back as you can remember, childhood up until like your preteen years. Like, how did that look for you? What can you remember? Household, schooling, stuff like that.
Well, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
You did probably though.
I probably did. Yeah. So I remember the youngest age, my dad was like, "What do you want to be when you're old?" And I was like, "A big fat Italian man." And it worked out.
Yeah.
I am. But I guess growing up, I had like a kind of like we moved around like a lot when I was young. So I come from like my mom was divorced a couple times and grew up with two younger sisters, no older brothers.
Like middle class, lower middle.
Lower middle. Middle-ish. I mean, we never went on vacations or nothing like that. We never did the shore. Like we were pretty neighborhood. But yeah, my parents did their best with what they knew.
Yeah.
You know, they were young having me. So when you're a kid having a kid, you're a fucking idiot still. You know what I mean? You're trying to raise them right, but it takes a village.
What part of the city?
I grew up in like Longcrest.
Longcrest? Okay.
So like my mom's from Longhurst. So and my dad was from Burholm, and then we ended up living in Longcrest forever. And yeah, that's it. But
What about school? You said you were a class clown.
I was a class clown. Yeah.
Did you get good grades though, or you just clowned around?
Nah, I was like a CDF type of student.
Yeah.
You know, mainly F's and D's. But I hated school. I mean, for the simple fact that they always try to control you and tell you what to do, and I don't really listen to rules like that. I didn't, at least growing up. But yeah, I always had fun though in school. You know, I always made everybody laugh, or always got in fights or something stupid. You know, if I was the new kid, I'd for sure, in a school that week.
Did you go to like a bunch of different schools, or was it like the same grade school, same middle school, same high school?
Few different grade schools growing up, but I mean the ones I was at the longest, I was like at J. Hampton Moore for like 2 years or 3 years. I failed at Farrell School, so I was there for 2 years. And then I failed. What else? I went to Wilson for a little bit. Then I went to Franklin. I got kicked out of Catholic school at St. Matt's when I was in first grade.
First grade? Do you remember what you got kicked out for in first grade?
I don't know. My mom told me whatever the nun, whoever was handling the tuition, they told her straight up, just keep the tuition. Don't bring them back next year. So whatever I did, I was just a jerk off, I guess. I don't remember what I did. Who knows?
A 6-year-old jerk off.
I was the type of kid that when we lived in Mayfair, my mom told me there was a story of me throwing water balloons in cars in the summertime, just launching them at open windows. And I'm like, I really was like that? I'm like, I didn't feel like I was that kind of a kid, but I guess I was. Like, I don't know. I have a fog of that time period, I guess. You know what I mean? A little bit. I think my mom was just recently divorced, and I was like probably going through my own bullshit little emotions at the time. Who the fuck knows? And I was acting out. That's most likely what happened.
Wow. So all of the things you was doing in school, all the bad stuff, getting in trouble, getting kicked out and stuff like that, did that ever like transpire into street stuff?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I thought selling drugs was a good idea, and obviously that's not. I only did that for a little while, but I had some good mentors in my life. So when I was dropping out of high school, actually, I was selling weed in high school, and one of my mentors, Mario, shout out Catering by Mario's, but he basically took me under, and it was my father's good friend growing up. My dad came from Italy; he couldn't speak any English, and Mario was an Italian-American family, so they had a deli right around the corner from the house. So they befriended my dad, him and his brothers. And long story short, my dad put Mario in my life when I was a kid because, I needed a job. So I started out as a dishwasher working for this guy. I worked my way up. By the time I left, I was with him 10 years. By the time I left, I was one of his managers when I left there.
10 years.
But he groomed me. He groomed me to be a worker and like,
So you said your mom divorced a couple times, and were you still like in contact with your dad, or were you mostly living with your mom, or
Yeah,
was
no,
it like summertime go here? How was that like?
No, it was nothing like that. I would see my dad like on the weekends or, and then in high school I lived with him for a little while. That's kind of like when I dropped out and Mario took me under his
Okay.
wing. So you're working full time. You're not going to run the streets. And even though I was trying to sell weed and everything, but I had some good people around me at that point.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Wow. So 10 years at Mario's. What made you start working with Mario?
I became good at sales working there. So back at that time, there was like pharmaceutical reps. They were like big, so they were pushing drugs and all these different probably perks. And at that time, who the hell even knows what they were selling? But I was going there setting up shop for like the doctors, setting up lunch meat trays and hot trays, and we're setting up all this catering.
Okay.
And so I would meet all these drug reps in there, and I was hustling to them. I'm like, yo, call us up for catering. And they were like, my real name's Rosario. So like, yo, Rose, you're good at selling. You're bringing in business. And I was like, he's like, maybe you should think about selling. So I ended up leaving there and getting a sales job.
How Mario feel about that?
At the time,
It could be bittersweet, but
yeah, at the time, I didn't even think they were really cared. Obviously, everybody has their time limit somewhere. You know what I mean? But that was just my time. I just had to go. But we still remain tight. We made wine this year, so like me and Mary are pretty tight still. So it's like family. But
you started doing the pharmaceutical sales.
yeah.
What did that look
when I
like?
was selling to them, like the farmers, I was selling them catering. And then when I left Mary's, I went to sell uniforms, like police uniforms, firefighter, postal. So I was selling uniforms for McDonald Uniform Company, and I learned how to do like outside sales and deal with different people. So I was standing in post offices like midday when these people are coming back from their shifts, and I'm trying to get them to spend. They get like an allowance, and I'm trying to get them to spend their whole allowance for their uniforms with me. And I gotta like, come on, man, I'll give you this. I'll give you a pair of gloves. I'll give you a pair of boots for your whatever. And that led me into something else. And then I went to phone sales, and then that was that. That's how I met Extra, who I was on the phone with earlier.
Yeah, we'll get into that too.
But yeah, that's how I met him. But yeah, sales for a long time, man. I was into phones, and then my uncle started a roofing business. When I was doing the phones, I was working with him a little bit, and then Union Roofing was one of our customers at the phone store, and they came up to me and they're like, "Yo, you want a job?" Like my buddy Frankie, he's a good guy. He taught me everything with the business. He's like, "Dude, this is how you do it." And so I learned the whole roofing business working there. You learn the do's and don'ts.
You were the sales guy though at the time. Like
the
while you're
sales
learning
guy.
about the business, you were just doing sales.
Yep. Yeah, I was doing sales for them, but then I was doing it on the side too. I was like kind of helping one buddy, not to throw him under the bus, but my boy Ziggy, he's retired now, but I was doing shit with him on the side. I was
Like
working
roofing?
roofing. Yeah.
Like you had a torch,
Yeah.
torching down.
Yeah, I had to learn it. Especially you have to learn the business if you're going to sell. You have to do it. You have to be hands on. You have to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Especially if you know what you're doing, it's easier to sell the work.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about. You know? So you can't just be a straight salesman and be like, "Oh God, here's what you got to do."
Someone's
Like,
gonna pull your card at one point.
yeah, you gotta know what the fuck you're talking about. So, but yeah, when I left there, I wasn't even thinking of owning a roofing company. I was like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do?
What'd you leave there for?
I was on full blown perks. I was fucking.
All right, so you ended up using drugs.
Yeah.
How did that escalate? Like, did someone just say, "Here, try this"? Like, how was it? Your crowd you were hanging around?
Was it at the pharmaceutical when you was selling gloves?
So I was selling like perks. I was getting like, perk 10s and shit, and I was selling them. And,
So that little weed hustle turned into a perk hustle.
yeah.
Oh, you want to
Turned
skip
in-
over
turned
that
into a
part?
little- turned
You want to
into a
skip
little
over
bit-
that part? We're not the feds. You cool?
Well,
Statutory limits.
Statutory limitations. Yeah, just like statute limitations. No, so yeah, I was like doing my thing. You know what I mean? And just selling whatever I could sell on the side. I'm not gonna claim myself to be no fucking kingpin. I was far from it, but whatever little bit I could sell here and there, I would
Yeah.
do. And so, but yeah, when my dad died, I think that's when my habit it progressed. You know what I mean?
You started roofing, bro. Just tore up your body.
Yeah. Well, Well, when I worked there,
But what was the real reason that, like, do you remember taking the first pill, or did someone give it to you, or was it someone you're hanging around, split it with somebody?
So my best friend Steve was like eating perks by the handful. He was fucking out of his mind. He would eat like 10 perk 10s at a clip, and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, you're gonna die, dude. You know, and I was young. I was bouncing at a bar, Harrington's back then, and I was cracking like a perk 10, and I remember eating like half, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna eat half, drink a beer, and I'm on cruise control, and I'm like another half later, and that's the kind of like drug addict I was. I was not a drug addict. I was just like socially doing it.
Yeah.
You know? When my dad died, it progressed. It like I was selling the 10s, and I think when I think my dad was also like active in drugs too, and he was like sniffing heroin at one point, and I think what really led to my, I guess, depression in that sense, after he died, I realized like, damn, dude, I was like giving my dad, because my dad had perk scripts, and I was buying scripts off him, and essentially he was going and spending that money buying drugs for himself. And in the back of my mind when he died, I'm like, man, I probably killed my dad. Well, we did an autopsy. He died. He was sober when he died. He went to get help and everything, so that was thankfully, you know. He had a few weeks sober, came out of Kirkbride, and the last day I saw my dad, me and my oldest son, we saw him, and I gave him a hug, told him I loved him, I was proud of him, and dude, the next day he was dead. I think he actually died of sleep apnea. He like, you know, fucking breathing. It's all fucked up, but yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. So after your father died, you said it was a wildfire, haywire after that, right?
Yeah, I was probably like eating perks every day to deal with like, who knows, like some sort of bullshit depression and making excuses in my brain. And but yeah, and I couldn't shake them. So two of my friends were recovering heroin addicts, whatever. They were sober. They were in the program. They're like, look, if you don't get help, heroin's your next step. And it scared me enough to like go get help.
How long did you have the habit for?
That's what I was about to ask.
Good 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good 5 years. And I was a late bloomer. Like, I didn't do any drugs until I was at least, like, when my dad, I was 26, I think, 28 maybe. But whatever. I was, and I was eating them all the time. And then I tried cocaine in my 30s. I was a longshoreman. I was working down the waterfront and partying with these fucking goobers down there. Good guys, but man, they were like, yeah, these guys are doing cocaine on the weekend. I'm trying it. I'm 32 years old trying coke for the first time. I'm like, what a fucking idiot. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's like.
Wait, so you were doing the perks? Did you kick the perks and then started doing the coke, or did you do them both?
Kicked the perks, came back from rehab, started doing coke. Then I was like doing that for like months, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Same thing, like socially though, right? Like not like
Socially,
you're not out robbing stores to get high.
No,
It was just
no, I was never like that. But I mean, I was managing the Boost Mobile store in Aramingo. I was the fucking manager there at one point, and I'm sitting there, and I remember going in the back, and I'm sniffing fucking blow off my phone, and I'm dealing with customers. I'm like, how can I help you? Like, what's up, buddy? Like, getting all wild.
Your
know?
sales turn up.
Oh man, turn the fuck up is right.
How long did that last for?
Not that long.
Not that long.
Within a year, I decided to like, because I started eating perks again, and I was like, fuck this. This is gonna ruin my life. So I went to Malvern, AMA'd myself out of there, and then I said I was going to start a roofing business. So at that time, it was 2016. At that time, I was working at the phone store, and I was a longshoreman, and I was trying to start my roofing business. So it was like I was doing like 3 different things at once, and I didn't know which way to go. I was like, I'm gonna start my roofing company.
What really made you want to start the roofing?
Hold on. Before you even get into that. So you stopped after that. You stopped the perks, started the coke, started the perks again. What did you use as a substitute to like replace the drugs when you went through the pain or you went through the thoughts of your father or whatever excuse you associated with those drugs? What did you use to replace that?
Good question. For a little bit was the gym.
Okay.
And then it became eating, and I definitely got fat.
We got something in common, baby.
Yeah, all bought and paid for. No, but I, at my heaviest weight, which would have been in 2018, 2019, I was fucking 328 pounds. At my heaviest weight, I was a big boy.
My heaviest weight was 304.
And 240 of it was his head.
I'm 270 now, but I'm like, I want to lose like another 40 pounds. I'm going to wait till till the dust clears at the fucking gyms.
Yeah.
But I need to get back for myself. Yeah, I miss the sauna.
So your coping mechanism was food.
Yeah, really was.
Yeah.
For sure. I would eat 3 meals a day, and we're talking like out to eat, and I'm eating fucking full plates. I mean, I'm eating.
He does that now.
I'm going to Johnny's Hots, getting a sandwich in the morning. I'm getting the XL joint. I'm like, give me the pork garlic and cheese with hot sauce, but I want the bigger one. I'm like, what? And then I'm eating a full plate. I go to Cafe Michelangelo's up Bustleton Avenue. Their portions are huge. You go there, and I'm smashing that plate, and I'm eating 2 apps. Like,
And a dessert.
and probably
That's where
soda,
we went too,
and
right?
soda, and probably a dessert. Like,
Yeah.
and me and my boys, we're all big boys. We all know how to eat.
What do you
too.
think
Like,
your calorie intake was for the day?
Oh God,
5,000?
probably 4,000. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because like I would even go to Dunkin'. I haven't gone to Dunkin'. I can't even tell you last time I went to Dunkin'. But
What are you getting at Dunkin'?
I don't go to Dunkin'. I don't.
What
eat
were
fast
you
food.
getting?
Oh, like you go there and just waste your money on a latte, thinking you need it. Like you need a iced latte or something. You don't need that fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's all shit. It's junk.
Yeah.
So yeah, no more of that.
Dang.
What was I about to say?
He was asking about how did he get into roofing?
Yeah.
Start his roofing.
What pulled you towards roofing? Because you said you were doing all these 3 things. Like,
Yeah.
what? And you got a nice establishment now, and you took it serious. You can tell, like, from your branding to your customer service, everything. What pulled you towards roofing and say this is it?
Well, when I left Union Roofing, I know they were upset with me. Excuse me. I think I stole a job off of them or something, and they were angry with me. And it was something like we're friends now, but I think I stole a job off them, so I knew I couldn't go back there, and they were upset with me. And I'm like, I called my uncle. He owns Primo Roofing. I was like, yo, uncle.
That's your uncle?
Yeah.
I see him in the gym all the time.
It's my godfather. Yeah.
What's his name?
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Him and my cousin own Primo Roofing, and
He usually actually go down Front Street, too. I seen him down Front Street. Yeah.
He's got the key. Goes in there whenever he wants me. He still trains. He's the fucking.
Seen him at Planet
That's
before.
my other mentor in life. So, without Mario and my uncle Joe being like the good mentors in my life, bro, I would not be where I'm at today.
Yeah. Get you a mentor.
But
Kids.
yeah, get you a mentor for sure. But no. So I asked my uncle for a job, and at the time he was like, "Yo, sorry, I can't use you right now." And I called Liberty Roofing up. I asked them for a job. I was like, "Hey, you guys hiring?" No, the answer was no. So I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start my own. What else am I gonna do?" And at the time, there wasn't like as many known roofers. I feel like maybe I just know so many roofers now that I'm in the game. But
The roofing industry definitely blew up, though, over the past 5 years.
did it ever? That's crazy. 2020 set that off though. Once COVID happened and people were sitting in their shitty houses looking at their fucking shitty roof and their shitty siding, they're like, all right, it's time. If I'm gonna sit home and work and I gotta stare at this fucking place, it's time to.
I started in the
Upgrade.
pandemic.
Yeah.
We do interior
That's what I'm
stuff,
saying.
so.
But think about it. People are sitting in their house like, I fucking hate this wallpaper. I hate this paint. I hate the way the ceiling. I don't like my kitchen. The bathroom's disgusting. So that's where it came from. And then with all that extra money people were getting, dude, you know.
So you started. How was it for you starting off? Was it hard for you getting jobs? Like, were you all over the place, or did you just start booming from the beginning?
Nah, not booming at all. 2016, I started out with like basically no insurance. I was just doing it. I was winging it. I had a truck with a truck, dude. That was me. I started out like that, but within a year, my boy Buck, Jameson Roger, that's my man.
Yeah,
So
Buck's
I've known
my
him
man.
since high school. So me and Buck been friends a long time. He's like, yo, Ricky, I was like, look, I want to use you, but you got to get, you have to have insurance. You have to have general liability and all this stuff if we're going to use you. I'm like, all right. I went and got that. I went and got the LLC. I was like, fuck it, start giving me work. I'm on it.
Yeah.
So now, fucking fast forward 8 years later, we got workers' comp and everything else. We got, but it's it was.
And
not
you were
easy.
physically doing the work when you first started, too?
Yeah, I had to. I mean, it was me and shout out to my man Bobby Johnson, but it was me and Bobby Johnson pretty much.
He black?
Nah.
Oh, all right.
Bobby Johnson's a white boy, but no, he's a wild dude, man. He was like, we were fucking up on roofs and fucking torching and doing everything. And then I had my man Ziggy. He would jump in once in a while. He was working for a union, but he would come in and help us every once in a while. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I brought in a couple other guys when I started going to meetings. I started meeting other roofers, and I had a couple guys work for me throughout the years.
What's a couple? My fault, Frankie. What's a couple different adversities that you had to overcome just starting off your business from the beginning? For anybody out there that's listening and trying to get into roofing or start their business.
I mean, no, I don't want to say like adversities, but like in the beginning, I definitely didn't have money for like shit like that, insurance or like a new truck or even lettering. I was just winging it all from the muscle. I didn't have nobody helping me out or anything like that. So,
Stripping on the side.
yeah,
Yeah.
shaking that ass. But yeah, I didn't have much, so I kind of just was like going to people's houses, doing a coder. All right, there's $500 now. Let me buy some more material and shit like that. So I was putting it originally back into my company, which I still do. Now it's just bigger expenses, you know. Now I'm buying trucks and everything else, lettering, and
Billboards and
billboards, and then your SEO stuff now, because you know everything was word of mouth in the beginning. I know a lot of people, you know what I mean. So, you know, growing up in a bunch of different neighborhoods, kind of you know you get to know a lot of people and working different jobs. You know, guys down South Philly used to give me a ton of jobs. All these longshoremen, I'm doing the jobs for their grandmas. And Johnny Butler, for example, JBX, you know JBX.
yeah, I know John. Yeah,
The Johnny's grandpa's roof, uncle's roof, mom's roof. But like that's before he started, and
Yeah.
now he's learning from one of the best. Ernie Pace is a great fucking dude. That's my man, and he's learning from him. So he's got it. You know, he's got a good mentor.
Yeah.
I mean, they're best friends, but like that's a good.
yeah,
mentor,
they're helping each other.
for sure.
Yeah, so some advice would basically be just keep investing into yourself and start with what you have.
Pretty much, yeah. You gotta put the money back into yourself. You gotta, and like even like for the health shit, like you know, like what's the point of making all this money if you're not gonna be healthy and you know make healthier choices with your diet, go to the gym, do something, but like you know, no sense in having all this.
So I remember when I shared like a clip and it had my story in it, and it was about me living in my sister's basement. You had reached out to me and said, "Dude, I was sleeping on my sister's couch. I had this person doubt me, this person doubt me." What was like a little bit of that? Like, if you want to touch on that, like, where were you at that time? Because it seems like I was at like a part of my lowest, and you like brought up a part of yours. So, what did that look like for you, and how did you get out of it?
I think
And what things like stuck with you, like sleeping on your sister's couch, and what these people said to you?
so I lived in my grandmother's basement, my nonna's basement, and me and my cousin Matt, we would fucking eat pills together. Like fucking, we'd be eating 30s, and I'm like, what a depressing fucking state of life. Like my ex-wife, like she basically told me get the fuck out. His mother, she told me to get the fuck out. She's like, yo, you gotta go. And that's when I was like sleeping on my sister's couch, and then finally she was like, you're not gonna go get help, then we're done. And I'm like, and I wasn't seeing it as like, man, I'm not gonna see my kid. Like I'm in my grandma's basement. I'm like, this is fucked up. My cousin's coming over bringing me pills. I'm like, this is bad. So that's when I got you know my help, my shit together. But when I started my business, I think one of the best things my ex told me was to like kind of like she was like, look, go work for someone else, because she knows my ADHD was terrible. She's like, go work for someone else. You're never gonna stick with this and whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, this girl's doubting me. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking show her. Like, and not just her. Like multiple people are like, dude, you're never gonna succeed. You're never gonna
Amount to nothing, yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, all right.
So we hearing that now about the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit more fuel. That's it. It's
That's
adding
it.
more fuel.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do it for you first and foremost, but it's like, told you so.
Yeah. I do it for myself. I do it for my kids. Like, you know, my kids are my biggest motivation for everything. Like, that's it. That's what the fuck I live for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm pushing for. So.
What are some things that like you have now, and it might not even be physical or material, that like you're proud of that you didn't think was possible for you at one point?
Well, I didn't think I could be like a single dad and be a good dad. I didn't even know that was a real thing without like a mom in the picture, you know what I mean? But my sons both live with me. I have a grandson now, which is kind of wild. I'm 41. I got a grandson. It's pretty crazy. But that's fucking awesome. It's my oldest boy, Ricky. It's his son. And it's so cool, though, because it just gives you like a different perspective of life. Like in my brain, I'm like, damn, I'm a fucking old man now. You know, but I'm still, in my mind, I'm 27. You know?
Yeah.
I'm still young. But
I feel like no matter how old you get, you still feel young. Because like when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, you're in your 20s, you're old. And I'm in my 20s, I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, when I get 30, then you're in your 30s, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not old till I'm 50 now. I'm not going to feel old till I'm 50.
yeah, dude, and I'm feeling it now, though. My bones are aching in the morning. I'm like, oof. That's lack of the gym.
It's in there.
Yeah, fucking right.
How long have you been in business now?
8 years. This is March will be going into 9.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you did say what, 2016, right? Okay.
So how about the trajectory of your business? Like, did you see it go up year after year? And it could be different things. It could be like the amount of employees or trucks or revenue. But over the year, did you see it like steadily go up? Did it ever take any dips where you thought it was like going to be crucial and maybe go out of business?
Roofing always had its slow season, which is always generally from Christmas to like tax season. That's usually like the slow period for any contracting, I feel like. COVID demolished that. Like, I mean, for like 3 years straight, I wasn't really slow. And now this year, I feel like it's like, okay, it's slowed up a little bit, but even still, we're steady. Like, we're always working. And I think
Just not booming like it was.
right. It's not. Yeah, we're not lighting the world on fire, but you know, we're still grooving. You know, and I think carrying a good name, caring about your brand and your business, and you know, just caring about the integrity of your work and your clientele, and you just want to, like, I can't sleep good at night knowing that someone's fucking roof's leaking that we might have done, and it's a callback. I'm like, fuck, all right, we got to get out there tomorrow morning and, you know, like, take care of this.
Yeah, that's common with contractors. Any contractor that got a good name that we have on the podcast or that I even talk to, because I network a lot, you know that it's taking care of your customers and just giving them that reassurance and going back and making it right.
Yeah.
It's the people that they didn't pay me enough for this, or you just keep your name clean at the end of the day and you'll stay busy.
Exactly. Like, even if customers of mine, they have something stupid happen, like a siding blew off, even though we didn't do the siding, I'll come over and tack it up. I'm not most of the time, I'm not charging them for that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's just what I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You know?
I got a question for Will wants to sock me. I feel like he just is like,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was thinking like for your company, right? Or how are you building it in the back of your head as far as like, is there an exit strategy? Do you want to pass it down to your kids?
He always
You
stealing
can't-
my questions, man. Go ahead.
Bro, you used to always steal my trays, so we're even now.
I think, yeah, the ultimate goal would be have my sons take care of it and run the business. I know Jaden wants in. Ricky, I think he's a little stuck in his life. He's still young. He's young too, but like Ricky's still young to where I think he doesn't.
Show them the numbers.
Yeah.
Ricky's slanging that thing, man. He like that. I'm gonna get with you.
Ricky works for me full time now, but
Oh, yeah?
but I think he wants to find his niche. Maybe he might want to go in another direction. And if he did, that's cool. If he wants to stick here, then that's cool too. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like, our family came from Italy with nothing. We're trying to keep our name good and over here, and you know, we have a great name over here, and like, you know, it's cool to see the Tufano name, and my cousins in Italy seeing it, and they're like, oh shit, and I give them shirts. I know that's like really cool.
Yeah.
And that's a cool.
Your brand's going over there even.
Yeah, it's awesome. But my goal, my exit strategy is me retiring over there. When I went to Italy, I fell in love with my dad's hometown. Like, I feel at home here. So I told my son, like, send me a fucking check every month. Send it to Italy. I'll retire over there.
Yeah.
One day. We'll see.
Well,
That's
the cool
tough.
thing about the roofing is it can, if he wants it to go another direction, or either of them, it can generate money to help them get to what they want to do. If they want to get into real estate, if they want to go to school, like,
Absolutely.
roofing is good as a cash flowing business to where it could give them an opportunity, even if it isn't with Tufano Roofing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's some other things that you have going on outside of roofing, or that you plan on doing outside of roofing?
Oh man, let's see where you're going with that. So the Man in Many Hats podcast. Hopefully we're gonna be.
Okay.
Not hopefully. I'm gonna start it up.
When's it? Like, can we get a
month.
date? Let's get a date, man, and then we can hold you accountable to
I
it.
said January, like first week of January, I was gonna start doing it, but honestly, I haven't set none of this shit up. So, but you told me you're gonna help me out with that. So
I'll send you the list tonight. You can order it, and then when you get the equipment, I'll come and set up the first time for you guys, and I'll jump on your podcast. We could jump on.
yeah, I love that. So
He don't like jumping. He like bouncing.
No Diddy, bro.
I got so I already locked in my buddy JP from Art History, Jay Pross. He's gonna be my first guest. I already told him that, so that'll be sick. Having him on, and I know he's hype. He's got all this exposure with his Big Dom shirt that he just did, so that's pretty dope.
That's tough.
Yeah, he's like, dude, you gotta get me on while it's hot. I'm like, smart, you know. So,
Yeah.
nah, but he's a great guy too, and he's got a lot of good mentors around him too. So he's another guy like I like to pick his brain a little bit too. Smart dude.
Yeah.
You know, But yeah, that helps though. The mentor thing, it's huge because we were just talking about that. He was over at my house New Year's Eve, and he was telling me, he's like, I'm in this program, like a mastermind thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, dude, these guys are fucking great. They're like heavy hitters, and they're smart. They're in all these different businesses. And I'm like, wow, it's interesting. So, got to look into that kind of stuff.
That's tough.
So what else out there in the podcast?
Well, I don't know if I even want to bring it up right now. I don't think
Bring it up. Come on.
I mean, well, all right, I'm bringing it up.
Bring it up.
I'm doing saunas, in-home saunas.
Yeah.
Saunas and cold plunges.
So you're gonna install into people's houses, and it's a very trending thing right now.
We're on it.
Yeah.
We're already building them.
That's tough.
You got a website or anything for it yet, or it's in the works?
It's in the works.
That's tough, man.
Well, one thing, like, I felt like you were scared to share it because someone might steal your idea.
They always do, bro.
But this is the crazy thing, though. If you act faster, it don't matter.
Don't matter.
So, like,
Because most people gonna
Lazy.
drag their feet.
Most people are
they gonna
lazy.
be lazy anyway. They even
The
jump on.
quality of these saunas is gonna be unmatched. Like you can go get one on Temu for $2,000, you can get one from me for $5,000, $6,000, but it's gonna be top notch, lifetime warranty type shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'll be.
I would use a sauna. I ain't getting in no cold plunge, man. I
I
tried
got
that.
I had him in a cold plunge. Oh, my God.
Never again will I get in a cold plunge.
You ever go to Southampton Spa?
I never did, but two of my buddies go there all the time, and they're like, "Yo, bro, you gotta come."
There's
You
like
get-
6
you get the
different
feast."
rooms,
I'm like,
food.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
We went, bro. I never would get in a cold
Will
plunge.
you go back,
again.
though?
Yeah, but I'm skipping that cold plunge.
Not even one time?
Hell no. That shit, bro, that shit was cold.
It's fun, though.
I don't think I can handle that.
Yeah.
You feel amazing afterwards, like shocking your body like that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it wakes you up,
Mhm.
snaps you right back to reality.
Yeah. Are we up to the point now where you about to start a pie, you got your roofing company, another business venture that you just mentioned. Would you change anything in your life?
It's a good question.
Anything that you've been through? Do you regret anything, and would you say like I would go back and change this if I could?
I don't think so.
No?
Happy where you at?
I love my life. Yeah.
Okay.
Single dad?
I mean, I got a girl, but yeah.
Yeah.
Single dad. Yeah.
Grandpa got a girl.
Me and my
The
two
grandpa
sons-
got a girl.
Me and my 2 sons live together though. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a brohood over there.
Yeah. It's
I want
nice,
to come
though.
hang out with you guys.
Oh, it's dope. We cook our balls off every day. Come over and eat.
You got meatballs?
Whatever you need, bro. Anything Italian, we got it.
Let me hear some Italian accent right now.
Italian accent?
Yeah.
Not a little Sinatra. You know, a little Sinatra. Nah, Italian accent more to be like,
Meat, the spaghetti and meatballs. Or the sauce or gravy. Is it sauce or gravy?
it's sauce.
It is sauce?
It's sauce, yeah.
Okay.
But it's sauce. It's sauce in Italy. It's sauce here.
Where did gravy come from then?
It's like it's an Italian American thing, but it's mainly like South Philly and like New York. But that started from, when you're cooking your braciole or your meatballs, you sear them off, right? And then you drop them with the oil. Everything goes in the sauce, and it marinates. It finishes cooking because you don't fully cook it in the pan. You get it a little seared, right? And you let it cook off in the sauce.
I ain't
My
gonna
man
lie, bro, I'm
trolling
hungry.
over
Let it cook over the sauce.
Trolling.
As it's marinating that red sauce, it's gonna turn into like a gravy. And let me tell you, when you take that Italian bread and you dip that in there,
Yo, what the fuck? The table just rose up a little bit.
Yo, and I'm hungry, boy.
you gotta get a saloon.
Italian food, my
Saloon,
favorite
that's
food,
my
though.
shit.
Believe it or not, that's crazy. Real rap. Yeah,
about-
Italian food's my
We're
favorite.
going to do radicchio.
Radicchio's good, yeah.
I like radicchio.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good Italian spots in the city.
Yeah.
A lot.
Philly's underrated with food. Like, we got it good here.
Real good.
My buddy went to Italy and said that, Tony, he went there. He said he was there for like 12 days or 2 weeks or something like that. And he's like, you can only eat so much Italian. And he's like, and it's good, but like, dude, we have so many different options. We have just as, maybe not as good, but right underneath good Italian.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to Italy, I'll be honest, I like our pizza here better. Their pizza is totally different. Like I went to Naples and had their traditional pie. It's a coal fired or whatever brick oven pizza, but you got to eat it with a fork and a knife because it's all soggy and
Yeah.
sauce and melted cheese. I love it, but I like our pizza better.
Man.
My man hungry as shit over here. He been saying he was hungry all night.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed in Italy, they had like different food. They had sushi over there.
Yeah.
In Italy?
Wow.
I'm sure they probably have like little spots, like
Yeah,
different
little
foods.
Japanese spots and shit like that, but that's all I know.
Can we get some impressions, man? Can we get like?
Sure.
What do you want? Let's get Sinatra while we're here. Fuck it.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
That's a good
Yeah.
job, man.
Yeah.
The next line was "Baby Kiss Me." I was worried Jalil was gonna come
No.
over.
No Diddy, as he would say. No, let's hear Family Guy.
Hey, Lois, will you do me a favor there, sweetheart? Would you make me a sandwich? I'm starved.
Oh, you got some pie, huh? Oh, can I have a piece? Pass me over some of that Cool Whip. We can't have a pie without Cool Whip.
Yeah, that's a good job.
Yeah.
You gonna try that?
No, I can't talk like that, dude. I can barely talk English.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them. I got a lot of impersonations.
Jamaican?
But Jamaican, just Bob Marley, maybe. I don't know if I can talk like a Jamaican.
Little bum the clot.
Bomba clad Rastafari. Old pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. Oh, my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever had. Redemption song, baby.
That's a good job, man. Sound just like my old Bob, man. All right.
And then, how about impersonating Indian?
One little dude. Nah. Indian, I could do the dude of Duncan.
What dude to Duncan? Just the guy that.
Like an Indian boy would be at the drive-thru. He'd be like, hear your car pull up and he knows it's your car. And he's like, "What's up, buddy?" I'm like, "Yo, how you doing, buddy? Let me get one large coffee, cream and sugar. Anything else, buddy?" And you're like, "Yeah, cinnamon raisin, one cinnamon raisin bagel, toasted cream cheese. Anything else?" that was me every morning. My Dunkin' addiction at one point.
Was that your order too?
That was my order.
That's crazy. I got a Starbucks addiction right now, man. Caramel macchiato.
They're good.
That's my shot.
Yeah, they're good.
Seriously.
All right.
This was a good pod, though.
Yeah.
Good story.
What
You got the best dad, the coolest dad, bro. Right. I know you're gonna be laughing on the way home.
You gonna watch it too? Give us a view. So, me and Lo, incarceration. We met in jail. You have a friend right now. We actually got to sit on a phone call with you two.
Mm-hmm.
How did that transpire, and the pain you feel for him and his situation? If you don't mind you talking about it.
He don't care. Yeah, I mean, I guess, man, I was there when he got locked up and taken out, and that was the last time, seen him out in the streets. That was scary, dude. It was.
Wait, you was in the house when they?
No, so the first time he got locked up, was whatever he was at. But the second time was when he was on federal house arrest, and he was at the phone store that I used to manage.
Yeah.
And I just remember I went to the bank, and I come back and I see all these cops out front, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they're cuffing. I look in, the store's all glass, and they're cuffing customers. They're cuffing. They have him locked up, but he's like in the back. I can't see him. They're like, yo, we're gonna lock you up. You gonna be cool? And I'm like, I'm cool. They're like, sit down in that chair, don't move. And I have my hands on the chair, and they cuff me. They searched me when I walked in, but they didn't cuff me. And I'm sitting right there. And the craziest part is, dude, like 2 days before that, I probably would have went to jail because I had some shit on me at that time. And I'm like, man, what a close call. You know what I mean? And that really put things into perspective on that situation.
You could have been a code D.
Could have been. Could have possibly been. And like, it really wasn't like even through him or anything, but man, it was just the shit I was doing. Stupid.
So how did He ended up getting convicted,
So
sentenced.
he was set up by, there was somebody working at the pizza shop next door, and he was selling them tens, you know what I mean? And perk tens. The pizza shop, they're all wired back there on tens. Well, the one dude that was working there, his girl, nobody knew she was an informant, and she had like marked bills, and so she got him, and that was that.
And then he got sentenced 30,
33 years.
33 years
Yeah.
for a nonviolent crime.
Yep. Nonviolent drug offense. Yeah. I mean, I know he got caught with he didn't get caught with guns on him, but in his, I think his family's
Affidavit.
house and stuff like that, and they've searched like 5-6 houses all at once, when they did a raid. So, and that's what they did, and they found stuff here and there, and it's fucked up.
Dang, 5 or 6 houses at once.
I mean, look, he should have been doing a 10-year sentence, and that's it, and got out. That,
Yeah.
like, the time he is in is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
How long?
He's in there 17, 18 years now. Yeah. He hasn't seen his son outside of prison walls. His son's 16, maybe 17 now. Xavier. Yeah. I mean, that kid's a stud. Check him out. I'm QB. He's getting scouted. D1 schools, man. Proud of that little guy.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And you got a relationship with his son too?
I don't. I mean, his kid's mom's a great woman. She remarried. She got they really got their shit together, man. They're doing great things for their family. So she's a great mom. Kid's gonna be in the NFL. I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, he's getting scouted by D1 schools for quarterback. Dude, he's the man. And that's something to be proud of, dude. He's like, like he's in there, and that's where he's at.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. Like,
Do they keep him updated?
oh yeah,
Like answer the phone, take him up to see him?
yeah. He talks to his family all the time.
It's crazy. He reminds me. My fault, bro. He reminds me of the Texans quarterback. What's his name? Stroud or something like that.
CJ Stroud?
Yeah, his dad is incarcerated.
Really?
Yeah, he made a couple speeches saying like, "This is for you, Dad. Know you watching and stuff like that." He's trying to put some different things together to get his dad home.
Yeah.
But you telling me that story it reminded me of him.
33 years is excessive.
It is really. I mean,
Like you learn your lesson, like right, and no one's life was taken. So basically, your life is taken.
Oh yeah.
Like half of your life.
Basically, because that's more than a quarter of your life with life expectancy nowadays.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of time
ridiculous.
for what he did. That's fucked up. That's why I would love to like meet somebody in the prison reform and that can help him, because I know he just sent out like an appeal for his stuff. What he mentioned, what he called it earlier. It was like I don't know, whatever, some sort of release
Motion or something.
Yeah, but whatever. We'll see what happens with that. I know we all sent letters, his family, me, like so many people sent letters to judges, and dude, countless. It's crazy. Still it's done.
All right, so we have the Man of Many Hats podcast coming soon.
Yeah,
February?
definitely by February.
By February?
Yeah.
All right.
We
Well,
hold you to that.
I mean, yeah, and I want to come up and get some meatballs.
Yeah, I'll make 'em. The day you come, I'll make meatballs.
All right. I'm going to get this over to you guys, the equipment. You just get it set up. I wish you nothing but the best with the podcast, nothing best with life. It seems like you really got everything in motion for yourself. I don't know how old you are. How old are you now?
41.
41. Ups and downs, trials and tribulations. And you're like at the happiest you've been in your life right now.
It's fucking awesome. I love my life, dude.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Do I always say how grateful I am? Like, this is fucking crazy. I can't even believe, like, life beyond your wildest dreams. Like they say when you get sober, like I would not be where I'm at without a few people in my life, but also without me getting sober for the few years I was sober. Like I want to say I'm Cali sober now, like it's a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
But like, if I didn't get sober, I would not be where I'm at today. There's
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's so hard for whether you have a business or not, whether to just like wake up every day and live life happy and just be grateful. Like it's a tough spot to find, because it's like you're searching for peace ultimately, or you're searching for a place where there's no problems.
Sure.
You just accept the problems you have now, but then you realize everything that you do have that you're grateful for. That's what I do.
I'm not always happy. I'm not always in a great mood. Like I'm a human, dude. Like the fuck, like if somebody pushes the wrong button, I could fly off the handle. That's how I used to be, but I try not to be that same person anymore. You know,
Yeah.
I try to think differently. I have more to live for. I have, you know, like even like traffic, man. Sometimes I'll have like incidents on the fucking street because people want to test you. I'm like, yo, man, I get out of this truck, I'm fighting you. You know? I don't want to be that guy, but I'm still that guy in my head. I'm still that.
Nothing's worth it though, man. You built an amazing life for your self-esteem, so
Of course.
now you got these young guys to mentor and
Absolutely.
show them the way, and it all comes back to gratitude, I think.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, without gratitude, I don't even think I'd be where I'm at still. Like I know there's a lot of things that play into it, but that's a huge
well, I'm
part.
sure when you just had your truck with a magnet on the side, you were probably grateful as hell right there.
I was happy as shit. I'm like, damn, got my name on the truck. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, and in every step, you're just grateful and grateful. You look at what you have and what you got rather than what someone else has or the next step that's going to make you happy. If you're happy where you're at, that's fine.
I never look and see what anybody has, like, and care that much. Like if I like care like out of jealousy in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always genuinely happy for my people. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like always.
Because it's not stopping you. Whatever they have is
Exactly.
not stopping your motion.
Exactly.
It should motivate you, if anything.
It does. Like
Absolutely.
even Ernie, I bring him up because he came up behind me and he's a little younger than me, and I'm like, man, that kid's gonna be a millionaire. Wait till he's 40.
Yeah.
Wait till he's 40. He's gonna be a millionaire if he's not already. Trust me. Just because like he's like we're kind of at the same stage in life, and he's got 10 years. I got 10 years on him. You know what I'm saying? So that he's gonna be fucking rocking and rolling, dude. By the time he's 50,
I was just with him yesterday.
he'll be in Florida.
So hopefully getting on this podcast inspired you and motivated you to start yours, because I'm all for putting content out there, especially if it's positive, right? Like, you know, we're not here long, right? Do what you want, show people possibilities, and just enjoy your life.
Absolutely, I agree. Couldn't agree more. In fact, I love finding things that I love to do as I'm growing and progressing. Like you know, fortunately, I just got back from Florida yesterday using American Express points. Never in a fucking million years did I think I could have American Express points. I didn't even think I'd have one of them cards.
Who the fuck are you, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
what are you kidding me? my boy, his godfather was down there with his whole family. He said, dude, come down. Just come down to Florida. And I'm like, all right.
what was it, a spur of the moment thing?
Spur of the moment. I'm spontaneous as fuck, man. I'm like, all right, we're going.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Because like you said, you don't know when your clock's up, dude. Like I could be dead tomorrow. What if I didn't go to Florida?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Build some memories, man. Build some memories.
And it was cold as shit here anyway. You didn't miss out on nothing.
Shit. Oh my god. It snowed. I was still down there. So
He probably was pissed off on the way back.
it's
when it landed though.
I was like, the fuck is free. It was already cold. But, yeah, gotta get back to reality though.
Yeah.
Gotta keep making the donuts.
Well, Rick, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Stay tuned. This podcast is dropping in a couple weeks. Rick, he'll get on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How can people find you now? If you do have any, I know you have an Instagram page now. Maybe
Instagram,
anticipate it.
Man in Many Hats podcast, Instagram.
How about if they need a roof?
If you need a roof, call Tufano Roofing at 215-GET-ROOF. That's the number to call.
Oh, you? How you get that number?
Call Verizon and say, yo, I need some numbers with roof in it. Get creative.
Yeah,
You know, like if you got something going on and you can fit that word in there,
they'll do it.
yeah.
If it's an available number.
If it's paint or bath or whatever,
Yeah.
think of those four clever numbers. I mean, we're kind of past that stage. I'm old school, so I'm thinking that way. But like, we're not even at the like clever phone numbers anymore. We're past that because now everything's clicked.
QR codes.
QR codes, but then like if you think about it, you go to like a website, you're not calling that number, you're touching it.
You probably
So,
don't even
like,
remember what that number is.
Exactly. So like realistically, in my mind, it's just a quick memory. Like you know, if it's on my truck, you're gonna remember that. Real quick. Like, what was that number? 215-GET-ROOF. All right, cool. Let me call those guys.
Yeah.
That's all.
And you don't got to remember it either.
Yeah, right.
Because I forget my own number sometimes.
438-7663.
All right, Rick, we appreciate you. Stay tuned. We're going to drop it next week. Street success.
baby.
Thanks, bro. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. I'm gonna get this hoodie when you finish.
Yeah, I got you.